Sheldon Cooper has always been a force to be reckoned with. Even in his pint-sized form on Young Sheldon, he's a human Rubik's Cube. Brilliant, but impossible to twist into a manageable form. Whether he's terrorizing his teachers, baffling his family, or taking a simple conversation down a wormhole of science and superiority, Young Sheldon proves that intellectual horsepower often comes without an owner's manual. Here are 9 gloriously frustrating moments where Sheldon Cooper was so unreasonably Sheldon. Even his own family questioned the laws of nature that made him. 1. The time he refused to use a locker because of its inferior air circulation. Most kids avoid lockers because they forget combinations or are afraid someone might shove them into one. Sheldon, he launched a protest against this stiflingly primitive design. His reason? The air inside a locker is stagnant and therefore a breeding ground for respiratory illnesses. He carried all his books, folders, and science kits in his arms instead, and when the principal tried to reason with him, Sheldon explained the fluid dynamics of air circulation and shamed the school's ventilation system. You can't win against someone who weaponizes physics. 2. When he declared war on Santa Claus and reason. After learning the scientific impossibility of a jolly man delivering gifts worldwide in one night, Sheldon didn't just stop believing. He began a one-boy crusade against Santa Claus. He called out adults for perpetuating what he called the greatest fraud in holiday history and conducted a classroom-wide experiment to disprove Santa's logistics. His teacher tried to explain the joy of imagination, but Sheldon countered, "Imagination is no excuse for lying to children." Christmas spirit died a little that day. 3. That unforgettable dinner table debate on string theory. Mima wanted to talk about her bingo game. Mary just wanted everyone to eat. But Sheldon wanted to delve deep into M theory and why string theory needed to be reconsidered in light of newer emerging models. When George Sr. told him to drop it and pass the peas, Sheldon paused, looked his father in the eye, and said, "Pass the peas." You mean engage in a mindless act of carbohydrate exchange while the universe's greatest mysteries go unresolved. The peas were not passed, nor was the gravy. 4. His refusal to play t-ball because of poor game theory. While other kids were swinging bats and missing balls, Sheldon sat on the bleachers with a clipboard and a scowl. He'd run a full analysis of t-ball and found it to be a statistically inefficient activity with low reward output. He then attempted to teach his teammates about optimal strategies in probability-based games. The coach, in a last-ditch effort, told Sheldon he was overthinking it. Sheldon replied, "I'm under-enjoying it too." 5. When he tried to reprogram the church's theology. Sheldon's relationship with religion is complicated. During one Sunday school session, he raised his hand and asked, "If the universe began 13.8 billion years ago, why does Genesis describe a 7-day creation?" The teacher, bless her, tried to explain metaphor, but Sheldon had already prepared a PowerPoint titled "Logical Inconsistencies in Abrahamic Cosmology." The church tried to exorcise doubt. Sheldon tried to install logic. No one won. 6. That time he outsmarted his therapist and still needed therapy. Most kids go to therapy for emotional support. Sheldon treated it like a debate club. In one episode, his therapist asked how he felt about being different. Sheldon responded with a 10-minute monologue on Darwinian evolution, social categorization, and entropy. When she gently suggested he try to make more friends, Sheldon sighed and said, "Statistically, most of them will either disappoint me or mispronounce quark." The therapist needed therapy after that session. 7. His rejection of birthday parties based on statistical mortality rates. Mima wanted to throw him a party. Missy had balloons. The cake was ready, but Sheldon had other plans. He researched birthday-related accident rates and concluded that statistically, a child is more likely to get hurt during birthday parties than on a regular school day. He cited choking hazards, frosting-induced hyperactivity, and the social awkwardness of forced shear. Then he locked himself in the bathroom with a physics textbook and declared, "I'll celebrate the quantum foam instead." 8. When he tried to correct the school curriculum. A lot of kids grumble about school. Sheldon tried to revise it. At the ripe age of 9, he confronted the school board with a 14-page report outlining how the curriculum lagged 30 years behind modern science. He proposed a complete overhaul of their mathematics, history, and science syllabi, citing poor integration of fractal geometry and the scandalous omission of Schrödinger's cat. When the board tried to placate him, Sheldon shouted, "If ignorance I,